Welcome. Today we're going to be taking a look at Burgle Brothers. This is a 1 to 4 player cooperative dice rolling exploration game where you take the role of an elite heist crew trying to pull off a heist. To pull off the heist successfully, you must crack all safes, take the loot, and escape to the roof. But if any member is caught by a guard without a stealth token, then all players lose. Now that we know what the winning condition is, let's take a look at the components setup and how gameplay works in Burgle Brothers. Now let's look at the components. You have your room tiles, walls, character meeples, guard meeples, cards. You have your patrol cards, event cards, loot cards, tool cards, character cards, and reference cards. You have your dice. The green dice is for cracking a safe, and the orange is for patrol. Now for your tokens. You have your cracked tokens, hack tokens, stealth tokens, alarm tokens, open tokens, stair tokens, thermal bomb stairs tokens, kitty token, and crow token. And lastly, you have your rule book. Now let's take a look at the setup. We're going to be setting this up for a 3-player game, and we're going to be setting this up for the regular bank job scenario. Setup takes 15 steps. Step 1. Set aside 3 safe tiles and 3 stair tiles. Step 2. Shuffle the remaining room tiles and separate them into 3 equal stacks. Step 3. Place 1 safe tile and 1 stair tile in each stack. Step 4. Shuffle your room tiles and create your floors. You're going to be creating 3 floors in a 4x4 grid. Just so we know which floor is the 3rd floor, I'll place the game box above the 3rd floor. Step 5. Place 8 walls on each floor. For this particular scenario, the bank job, the diagram for your walls is in the rule book. Step 6. Separate and stack your patrol cards. You're going to separate the patrol cards by floor. The floor number is located in the bottom right corner of the patrol card. Step 7. You are going to shuffle and place each patrol deck. If you're playing with less than 4 players, you are going to discard cards from each deck. If you're playing with 3 players, you'll discard 3 from each deck. 2 players, you'll discard 6, and 1 player, you'll discard 9. So since we're playing with 3 players, we're going to discard 3 cards from each deck. Step 8. Place a guard meeple next to each patrol deck. Step 9. Place a guard die next to each patrol deck with the number for movement based on the floor. So for the first floor, the die will show 2. For the second floor, it will show 3. And for the third floor, it will show 4. This is going to be the guard's movement. Step 10. Choose a character and get their components. You will choose a character and a side of the character card. One side is for your regular character, the other side is for the advanced version, and this is for advanced players. Then you'll get the matching meeple, the player card, and 3 stealth tokens. And you'll also get a reference card. Step 11. Reveal and place the first floor guard. You will reveal the top patrol card for the first floor, and then you will place the guard on that location. Step 12. Choose a starting position. Players will flip over any tile to start on. They will place a downstairs token to mark the entrance. No effects from this tile are triggered at this time, but after the first turn, tiles will all trigger normally. So in this case, the alarm does not trigger at this time. Step 13, draw and place the patrol die. You'll draw another patrol card and place the die on this location to indicate the patrol route. Step 14, you are going to separate, shuffle, and place your event, tool, and loot cards. And finally, step 15, you are going to create your token pools and choose a starting player. The starting player is the player who has withdrawn money from a bank most recently. Now let's take a look at the gameplay. Games consist of turns until the players either pull off the heist or get caught. A turn consists of 3 phases: action, check for events, and move the guard. Now let's take a look at each in detail. Phase 1, actions. A player can take up to 4 actions. You may do them in any order, and you can do multiple actions of the same type. There are 5 types of actions. First, you can peek at a tile. You would permanently reveal a room tile adjacent to your room. You may not peek through walls or diagonal rooms. The second type of action is to move to a tile. You would move to an adjacent tile, and then you would follow the text on the tile. If the tile is a stop tile, you can't enter that room, and you must remain on the previous tile. These are the room tiles that have a 0 with a line through it. If the tile is an alarm tile, you would trigger the alarm. A description of each room tile is in the rulebook. The third type of action is to hack a computer. You would add a hack token to the computer tile. Computer tiles can hold up to 6 hack tokens, and you can spend these tokens later to cancel alarms that match that particular type. The fourth type of action is to add a die to a safe tile. This costs 2 actions, and you would add a die to the safe tile location. And the fifth type of action is to crack a safe. You would roll the die on a safe tile. To know the combination, you must discover all 6 tiles on the floor that share the same row and column as the safe. So if our safe was in this location, you would have to discover all 6 tiles in the same row and column as the safe. The combination is the 6 numbers that are located to the bottom right of each of those room tiles. When you roll the die and get a number from the combination, you would place a crack token on those room tiles that match that number. When you have rolled the numbers matching all 6, you have cracked the safe, and then you would gain a loot and tool card, and then you would permanently add 1 movement to the guard movement. So the first time you move to floor 2 or 3, you would reveal the top patrol card, place the guard on that particular space, and then reveal the next card and place the patrol die. When it comes to your stealth tokens, if you enter a tile that has a guard, you would discard one of your stealth tokens, or if the guard enters your tile, you would discard a stealth token. If you do not have any stealth tokens to discard, you are caught and your team loses. When you find these stairs on a particular floor, that would lead you to the next floor in that exact same location. So when you travel to that location, you would place the stairs token on that location. Phase 2 is check for event. If you use 2 or fewer actions during your turn, you would draw an event card and resolve the event card. And then phase 3, move the guard. You would move the guard, the movement speed that is located on the patrol die, and you would move the guard to the patrol die, that many tiles. If you have equal paths, you would follow the order of left, center, and then right, or clockwise first. As soon as they get to the die, you would draw another patrol card and move the die, and they would go on to the next patrol. When the patrol deck runs out, you would take all of the cards from that floor, including the cards that you discarded at the beginning of the game if you're playing with less than 4 players. You would shuffle them, and then you would create a new patrol deck. Then you would discard the same amount that you discarded at the beginning of the game if you're playing with less than 4 players. Then you would rotate the guard's die to increase their movement speed by 1. And then you would reveal a new patrol card to set the guard's next destination as normal. So let's say that it's the acrobat's turn. First, they would peek at the tile next to them. This is a motion tile. If you move into and move out of a motion tile in a single turn, you would trigger an alarm. You can avoid triggering the alarm if you wait until your next turn to move out. If you trigger an alarm, you would place an alarm token on that tile, and then the guard would head straight toward that tile, ignoring the patrol die. So in this case, he would move to the tile for his second action, and then he would peek at another tile for his third action. Since he doesn't want to trigger the alarm, he would stay there. Then it would go to the check for event phase, which he took 3 actions, so you would not draw an event card. And then you would move the guard, and that would end his turn. And then turns would go clockwise until either a patrol has caught a crew member without a stealth token, or the crew have cracked all the safes, collected the loot, and made it to the roof, in which case the crew would be successful on their heist and win Burgle Brothers.